We do have here sina Tonet Rivera and Joel Lopa. They're from AHS Batch 74, who are celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. And so their batch have written a new book on the life stories of several graduates of the batch. And this new book is called Out of the Blue. Now, the book launch is on Saturday, March 23 from 2 to 4 p.m. at the New Rizal Library, 5th floor. And yun nga, they're here to talk about the book. So, we did the informal welcome. Let's do the formal welcome. Tonet, Joel, welcome to the roundup.
Thank you very much.
So, I guess first question is, what inclined you guys? What made you guys want to create this book?
It started as an idea to simply share stories from high school, and afterwards between a couple of us, and they decided to grow the group by asking more people to join who they knew to be fond of writing. And then it evolved into life stories because we realized that we had been out of school for 48, 49, 50 years, and there was a lot more to tell beyond high school. And that's how it became an anthology.
Originally, I think it was just the group basically the team that formed this book project, who were going to be the contributors to the book. No? So, after a while, we thought of expanding the invitation to the bigger batch, so that we felt that it would be more representative of the batch. No? And somehow, when we made it a free-flowing thing, there's not much except that there's no particular standard or particular story you have to come up with. It was basically the basic guideline was you narrate a story, whether in school, whether after school, whether in business, and there just has to be a learning lesson in life, a life lesson that you learn from that experience that you share with the people, with the reader. That's why, because it was meant to be a legacy project. It was meant to share with maybe, hopefully, the young Ateneans now who are struggling with what they're going through and maybe questioning why they have to study certain subjects. Some of these questions will be answered here. And even like, sometimes you feel like, you're such a failure, then all of a sudden you can read some stories here of people who have failed, but they still manage to say, let's go, let's keep on fighting, and let's keep on doing something that would be productive. There are a lot of stories to be, lessons to be learned in this book, and basically that was, in fact, we didn't realize it would come out to be this, as good as we are getting the reviews from. The reviews we're getting are quite good, and that made us sort of, oops, I think we did something here.
Oh, wow, congratulations po.
Originally, the 7 people were quite at a loss on how to position the book, but when the stories began to come in, we realized that they kind of fell into a pattern, and one of us suggested, why don't we do the 5 stages of growth as a theme, where you're looking for yourself, and then you find yourself, you decide you like yourself, and then you begin to forget yourself because now you have a family, you have children. And then you begin to think beyond even that. You join a community, and then finally you contribute to a cause, to a higher cause. And it turned out that the people who did write, who submitted stories, their stories fell well within that range. We anonymized the stories at the beginning because we just wanted.
You wanted to make sure there was no bias.
There was no bias
selection
when
process,
we edited or so forth. But we were surprised. I personally was very surprised at the quality of the stories that came in, and we were asking each other, "What's this? I mean, who is this? Right? Whose story is this?" Because it was unforeseen, it was unexpected. Lots of stories of struggles and successes and failures.
No, I think kasi we wanted to do was, originally we thought of just having, when we thought of this, we were saying to solicit some articles from the people in the batch, and we're saying it's going to be a bit boring if it's just a compilation of writings like that. So the tendency of something like that is for people to pick and choose. They don't tend to read the whole thing. So we sort of asked our editors to help us also to come up with like a storyline. And one of the members of the group came up with the 5 stages of life. So we tweaked the storyline towards that framework or that outline. So it sort of kind of builds up. It's like life in grade school and high school, and it's funny. The first article is I didn't realize because it was a contentious issue among us when we were deciding the order of the book. It's bullying in school. No?
Oh.
And so we're saying, what the first topic is a negative topic. We were saying
Start them with something.
We're saying, it's a reality that even up to now exists, right? And it's quite a big issue.
Yeah.
So
maybe even more now.
Yeah. So it's basically that's how it is. It's eventually
the book is divided into interesting chapters. There's 7 chapters. It starts with beginnings and ends with endings, and in between you have heroes, you have magis, so the strive for excellence. You have ad majorem, Dame Gloria. Dame Gloria is one chapter on faith and devotion. We were surprised that some of the foundations that the Ateneo gave us 50, 60 years ago continue to be a touchstone for many of the graduates, for many of our high school batchmates. Yeah.
It's nice to know that sort of that the indelible mark of Atenean education, like it stayed with them, and then and now we're seeing it sort of, I guess, concretized or sort of into that book, into that because no, what interested me kasi was also like sort of you guys going for 5 stages of growth, because like when we say 5 stages, I immediately thought grief? No, growth. Okay. Which is better, more optimistic, and it's also a way to sort of find sense when life doesn't seem to have any. So I'm glad that that we have this book to sort of at least we get to hear stories, or we get to learn stuff from it.
And it's so interesting that it opens with like a story about bullying, because it can seem like a really striking parang way to open a book, but I think it helps sort of bypass like the 50-year difference that like people might be thinking when approaching the book, and to realize oh wow, parang this is something parang that hooks me, and it's something that parang I can relate to, and it bridges that like 50-year like difference.
I'll tell you something else that's bridging in the book. Three of the writers have passed away since they wrote their articles. This was a 2-year project, so we did have some losses during the 2 years. There are a couple of articles that are written by next of kin, so children wrote about their fathers, wives wrote about their husbands. The photographs, there are only a few photographs in the book. They illustrate chapter headings, but they were taken by one of our classmates who became a professional photographer. And another classmate when he saw that, he threw in one of his own pictures and said, "You might want to use this also." And it turned out to become the book cover.
So that's
basically that's a photo of. The other bridges are all. Both of our editors, our book editors, were professional editors that we took in. Were Ateneans. The book designer was an Atenean, all younger than us. And then we had, as is usual with any publication in the Philippines, we submitted for legal review. The lawyer was an Atenean.
Wow.
And they were all like, "This is fantastic." I mean, they saw some changes. They saw that some things never change, but they all loved the book, right?
Yeah. There's an interesting anecdote to this book because it's kind of unique. Our foreword is a poem written by one of the group members, and the epilogue, it was chosen by our editor. They suggested we suggest you take this article as your epilogue. So we said, yeah, okay. We read it and said, yeah, okay, makes sense. It's like about you're already at this age, but life still goes on, and so we move on. But it's a very strong message about not stopping with the good that you're doing. And it was written by our class valedictorian. So the book ends with a valedictory speech by our class valedictorian.
Wow.
And we didn't know it.
It just so
that
happened.
Was when they said it, right away we said, yeah, that has to be it. It's very fitting that he has to end this book.
It has to be him.
Yeah.
And I got it's just blew through. May I borrow the?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean it's called Out of the Blue, but it seems like it is also stewing in the blue.
It's stewing
like
in the
us
blue.
Today, we're all
It
dressed
went
in blue.
through Oh my god! I didn't even realize.
We're in the blue right now, everybody.
Everything about this book is blue. Let me go check. Never mind. Black ink. Anyway. No, but like, I don't know. It's such an interesting thing, and like, sort of for this sort of, I guess, a serendipitous occurrence. Na it's the valedictorian to to be the epilogue, as if to say, sort of, this is. I guess this is a re-graduation after reading the book.
Yes,
Right.
in a way.
It is, yeah.
It was
You know, like
thesis.
No, she's a senior. No, wait. No.
I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh. But
you know, I asked my kids, would you guys buy a book about my high school batch? And they said no. It's kind of boring, Dad. Come on. I mean, you again.
I've heard these stories over and over.
And that's why I think that's what drove us to make it a book about stories. We have a chapter called Down from the Hill, which is what we did, you know, basically what we involved ourselves in, higher causes we involved ourselves in. So it isn't really a yearbook. It's not at all that. It's not about the Ateneo only. Only the first few stories are. The rest are like struggles in life, successes in life, what we found meaningful, what we found persistent, what we found forever, that lasts forever. So yeah.
That's so wonderful, because I mean, as somebody who's like an undergraduate, sometimes when we sing the hymn and then we say like down from the hill, you know, and then it also makes me think, okay, what does like await me like at the end of this journey, and when I go down, you know, down from the hill. So parang I think this is sort of an extension of that. Na
helps to understand that concept, no?
Like it fills in that gap. Na parang when we sing it as an undergraduate, okay, parang it's one thing, but then it's another to hear people who have sort of, you know, gone ahead. Just parang to hear na, oh wow, this is parang, these are the things that they've gone through, you know, in life, and this is how parang this part of their lives informed what followed. That's very interesting.
I look forward. Oh, sorry, you were saying.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, you first.
Well, down from the hill.
Yeah.
And out of the blue. But
indeed. Oh, down from the hill, out of the blue. Yeah. I'm looking forward, honestly, to I'm probably gonna pre-order, which we'll get to the information how to pre-order later. So you guys have a book launch this Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. at the New Rizal Library.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So, what's gonna be happening on the book launch? Like, what can people expect?
We have a mass to start with, and then there's a program.
In true Ateneo fashion, it always starts with a mass.
Starts with a mass. And ends with refreshments.
Like any other Ateneo event,
Believe it or not, it was hard to find a priest.
Yes, that was one of our biggest problems, to find a priest.
What made it difficult?
It took 5 tries before we got one.
Basically, every priest we knew was old.
But we were asking for high demand priests, so basically it was understandable that we would get declined. Those priests are very busy people.
Yeah. We should mention that we always planned it as a non-profit project, and so we kind of funded it internally among ourselves, the group, and then anything that we get over and above recouping the cost of the book would go towards 2 charities. One is the Jesuit Health and Wellness Center, and the other one is Pathways to Higher Education. So we thought that would be appropriate.
Yeah, basically, it's giving to people who mentored you and helped you, and giving to the future.
Wow.
Those are twofold.
Future.
As if this book wasn't already a gift.
Yeah, and it's a gift for and the proceeds are a gift to these people as well.
That's wonderful.
Well, that's another reason, I guess, why people should purchase the book.
Yes, exactly. And how can people purchase this book online or
we're going to sell it through Pandayan, which is a bookstore, a book chain that's owned by one of our batchmates, Jun Kabuchan. Yes. So he's got the point of sale system. He's got all the legal requirements, and you can order it from their website, Pandayan, and it's very affordable. It's nowhere what people thought it would cost, and we only have a very limited amount. We didn't dare print more than a modest quantity because we we didn't want to sound too ambitious.
Note to self: pre-order later.
Be there at 12 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like lining up already
Just go to the
outside of New Rizal Library.
Just go to
We
New
will
Rizal
be
Library, just
selling.
sleep by the
Exact camp outside.
We will be selling a few books at the launch. More than
it becomes as hot as a new Apple iPhone, right? People sleep in the corridor.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like UAAP tickets.
Yeah.
People are like setting up camp outside of the fifth floor.
What time do you get here? 4 a.m. Yun, so and also people can pre-order the book, no? So to get your
yes, there's a phone number that's available, but we're probably, I think there will be enough copies for sale afterwards.
for the orders.
Yeah.
So no rush for
Well,
for,
I wouldn't say no rush, but you don't need to pick up the phone right now.
calm down, but not too much.
Tomorrow is okay.
Okay,
People
there
were
we
like
go.
picking up their phones. Like, oh, okay.
Note to self: pre-order tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so yun, so once again, out of the blue, life stories from the Ateneo High School class of 1974. The book launch Saturday, March 23, 2 to 4 p.m. at the New Rizal Library. To pre-order, I guess we'll mention the Viber number, and then also to RSVP, I guess, for the book launch, no? Or
Yes, yeah. We only prepared enough food for 5 people, so we're hoping to get multiplication of the fishes and loaves.
who's ready for lunch? There we go.
But certainly, people are welcome if they show up. We'll find a way, and we'll have the books for sale there.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. So to order the book, they can go to the book will be available. The book will be available for order starting March 24 at shopee.ph/Pandayan Plus.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
PLUS.
And if you want to pre-order, the number is 0918 644 6263. Yeah,
Okay,
maybe
so
in 48 hours the answer will be there's no more books.
you know what to do, people. You know exactly what to do. Yeah. So before we end, thank you so much for coming over to the roundup. Before we end, would you guys like to shout out some people watching right now? The cameras are here. You guys can greet people. We're on air.
No, just to our batch, hope you support us this coming weekend by attending the book launch. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see you guys. It's going to be fun to share the stories with you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's going to be a reunion for the batch as well. It'll be nice to see them. There were 240 of us to start with, and it's considerably less than that, as you can imagine by now. So we really want to go to as many reunions as we can
I see.
before the book becomes about the former batchmates.
Oh,
Yeah.
kind of grim. No,
When we were using that to motivate ourselves to stick to the deadline. We actually graduated 50 years ago yesterday.
also
Yes.
literally
To
to the
the
day.
Literally to the day.
Yesterday,
Yeah, and we were gonna launch it yesterday, but Rizal Library said we're not open on
We're not
Sunday,
gonna
so you have to
open
do
on
it.
Sunday.
Rizal Library, how could you?
Why? Just
Their
once?
50th anniversary.
Just once.
Yeah, so we during the 2 years we were working on it, we kept saying to each other, we need to do this on time. Because it's a very significant date, and we want to do it, while everybody still has the eyesight to read it.
And the memory
Yeah.
to retain the stories.
yeah.
You still remember what they're writing. Oh my god. Yes, but anyways, Tonet, Joel, thank you so much
Thank
for
you very
coming
much.
over to the
Thank you
roundup
Thank you very
and
much.
for sharing with us your stories on how this book came to be, and hopefully to our audience, to our Katipuneros, you guys get to purchase the book as well when it goes on sale on the 24th. So we'll take a short break.